I'm here with David Candler. He's the Senior Director for Customer Solutions at Veritone. Good morning, David.
Good morning.
Tell us a little about Veritone and the role it plays in the sports industry.
Well, Veritone is a global enterprise AI company, and we span multiple industries from media and entertainment to sports, through to government and legal, etc. But I'm here today to talk about media and entertainment, and within that our sports play. So basically we have a content licensing division where we represent major sports brands across the world, from the French Tennis Federation to the US Open, where we are right now with our team, to the USGA. And what we're doing there is we're helping rights owners to monetize their content in terms of us representing them and selling it to major film documentary makers, agencies, networks all across the US. But we also have the platform play, which is based on AI. We have an AI operating system with multiple applications. And that's really two things. It's about making operational efficiencies using artificial intelligence, and then helping federations and rights owners to monetize their content in multiple ways.
And what can you tell us about how Veritone worked with at the Nurburgring?
Nurburgring 24, yeah, amazing event. I mean, some of the statistics of this event, it's held at the Nurburgring in Germany. It's a 24-hour event. Just the spectator size, I mean, there are nearly 250,000 people attending this event, so it's one of the biggest attended sporting events in the world. There are over 800 drivers and 130 teams taking part, so high impact racing. Where Veritone fit in is we're working with Sport Total, who are the rights owners of the event, and we're also working with people like EMPA, who are doing marketing and distribution during the event, and we're working with technology partners like Base, who are providing cloud storage and transfer infrastructure behind it. But at the heart of all of this, we have an application called Digital Media Hub, which is a central cloud-native media hub where all of the content from the event, prior to the event, during the event, and after the event resides. And because it's there in the middle of the conversation, we can enable rights owners and other stakeholders to get immediate access to what they need for their downstream purposes. So effectively, we're putting an AI-infused cloud-native media hub at the heart of the event for all stakeholders to access as they require.
So for that project, AI was central in what you were doing?
Yes, absolutely. As I say, we have built an operating system called AIware, and this is built along the same lines as a computational operating system. In there, we have a whole range of cognitive categories, over 20 cognitive categories. Where we've used this in many sports customers, and specifically for Sport Total, is we use things like speech-to-text or machine transcription. And what we're doing there is we're listening to the audio, the commentary tracks, etc. And as content is ingested into the media hub, basically automatically we do speech to text. And what this does is it gives a reference. So when you're searching for content or moments, key moments in content, you can use the commentary track to jump straight to it. Equally, we're doing logo recognition. I mean, sports is all about rights and sponsorship, okay? So sponsors are giving access to the media hub and they want to see how they were represented during the event. So it's very important for the federations and the rights holders to actually attract more sponsors. So we can use logo recognition, and every single brand for every manufacturer is picked up automatically, and again a jump to in the video to find it. And then finally we used optical character recognition, or OCR. So any text that you can see within in the frame is picked up again, and that could be the leaderboard, or it could be a strap or anything like that. Every single piece of information is captured. So what we're really using AI for is in this place, and especially because it's sports, you need a quick turnaround. You need deep discovery, a quick turnaround, and the ability to find a moment in the event and then use it in your downstream workflow. And that's where AI really plays in this scenario.
So when you talk to a customer, how do you explain to them what you're going to provide them, how you're going to help them? What's your key USPs in that respect?
Well, I mean, like any conversation with a customer, it's key to understand their requirements first and foremost. And so, what do we need to do before the event, during the event, and after the event? And when I talk about after the event, I mean before the event. Sorry, is all about promoting the event, obviously, and getting that content in there. During the event is capturing and then providing global access to their stakeholders, whether it's a press association, that they've made content for, or a broadcaster or a manufacturer. They need to get this content. And then after, you're building an archive, which is going to build your sport, build your sport's name across the globe for years to come. Nurburgring 24 is 50 years old, and there's an amazing heritage. But then also building an archive for future monetization. So we need to capture everything about the requirement, which could be production, for example, or on the peripherals of production here for global access. But also we'll bring to the table, well, have you thought about this, But the key thing about AI here is what we're doing is we're really creating operational efficiency. So there's no loggers who have to manually log this content. It's instantly done. So for instant access, and we bring that to the table. That's a key USP. But everything we've ever done at Veritone is either about creating those efficiencies or helping to monetize. With our heritage in licensing for sports, that's something we can bring to the table as well. So it's about understanding, but also bringing our other USPs.
So what other sports are you working with? What's the breadth, if you like, for Veritone in that
Well,
context?
we do multiple sports. I mean, internationally, in licensing, really, golf and tennis are huge. As I said, we're currently at the US Open in Flushing Meadows, working with our team. We're capturing content, we're distributing it to all key stakeholders, and then we license content. So tennis is very big, golf is very big. We have relationships with major, USGA, etc. Racing, we're talking about motor racing. We work with the likes of Formula E and Extreme E, and then back to tennis, French Tennis Federation. I mean, we're agnostic when it comes to the type of sports customer, because for any sports, they need to create operational efficiencies, they need to monetize their content, they need to create a name for their sport globally, and they need to give instant access to multiple stakeholders. So yes, predominantly for monetization, golf and tennis, but that expands when we come to our SaaS offerings, our platform offerings. It could be any sport, and we work across multiple sports, from football to rugby to tennis to you name it. I mean, it really spans the whole lot.
And finally, David, what's the future for Veritone and sport?
Yeah, well, we basically, again, if you think about operational efficiencies, this AI really does it for us. I mean, we use AI at the heart of everything we do, and we've talked a lot about discovery. But obviously, the future of sport and technology is really more about analytics and fan engagement. But there's AI at the heart of all of that. So obviously, we'll be involved in that evolution using our AI operating system. But then on the monetization side, we have content licensing. This is a multi-million-dollar play for us. So to expand that, we would obviously look at new things in terms of monetization. So whether that's the metaverse and minting for NFTs and all of that kind of stuff, we're heavily involved in that conversation at the moment. And on the metaverse, we also are content creators for the metaverse as well. Not just for the metaverse, but leading into the metaverse. So we do things like ethical voice cloning. Now, what that means is that we can create any voice for usage. The example for sports there would be a very famous sports personality who doesn't have any time to do anything. We can clone their voice, so they could do a sponsorship run, for example, without actually being there. But the ethical piece is that they have to sign off on it. And so it's like giving them the ability to be in the studio when they're not really there. And then number one, you create the sponsorship run for an event. And then we can actually create their voice in multiple different languages. So we could create up to 50 international languages. So where that plays now today is, create those efficiencies in a workflow, create more content to distribute. And then in the future, that's your sonic identity in the metaverse. We do avatars to link into that as well. And then, basically on the monetization, as I say, that's going to move into the kind of the minting NFTs, et cetera, in the future. So that's kind of where we're going. But the key themes, the efficiencies and the monetization, that's the string throughout.
Okay. David, thank you very much for your time today, and thank you for your support of SVG Europe. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.